Welcome back to the final part of The Snow Queen. Sometimes we see tales such as this one acted out in relationships between individuals, and that's often the simplest way we can relate to them. But I would suggest the truest application is found when we consider that each of the characters in this drama is part of our own psyche and life experiences. And this is true of the Bible as it is of any myth, archetype or folk tales such as the Snow Queen. The first part of the tale is somewhat like Genesis chapter 3, which describes a fallen, negative and ultimately destructive state, from which there appears to be no escape. And this sets the scene for the rest of the story, where we see the full implications of that decline played out, followed by rescue and redemption. Swedenborg talks about the corruption of the old will, how it is beyond repair, reflected in the condition and fate of the troll who created the mirror. And the Snow Queen partakes of the same quality. Gerda, on the other hand, represents the antithesis of this, the new, living and heavenly will. We can see similar images to this in places like Snow White and her contrast with the evil queen. In the Bible, in the book of Proverbs, we have the personification of wisdom and folly. And also in the Bible, we have the holy city, which is said to be adorned as a bride for her husband, which stands in contrast to the marriage between the prophet Hosea and his adulterous wife, Gomer. Once the action starts, the tale of the Snow Queen begins with two children, illustrating the innocence of childhood when all seems well. Kay's shard to the eye and the heart pictures the transition he experiences into adulthood, although Gerda doesn't suffer the same fate. The return to the garden then is a new adult state. Swedenborg describes this as the innocence of wisdom, when our motivations return to the purity of childhood, with the difference that our experiences of life have resulted in many lessons along the way. The quest or journey is another common theme found in many myths and folk tales, as well as the Bible. Of course, both Kay and Gerda go on their own quests, both motivated by their particular individual characters. And in the Bible we find the journey of the children of Israel leaving Egypt. There's also the Babylonian captivity, which is more like Kay's journey. There's even a story of an unquest in the Bible. Naaman the leper assumes that he must go on some grand heroic journey in order to be cured of his leprosy by the prophet. But instead the prophet simply tells him to bathe 7 times in the Jordan River, which Naaman just doesn't want to do. And this teaches us that any quest is not so much about the heroic deeds we perform on the journey, rather the growth of the inner character that takes place as a result, or as an expression of the inner character, as in Gerda's journey, which seems to happen almost by accident. Where Kay's journey is towards his own destruction, Gerda's journey, on the other hand, mirrors the redemptive journey of Jesus Christ. What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he loses one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the one which is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and neighbours, saying to them, "Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost." Later on in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus also says, "For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost." I hope you've enjoyed our exploration of the Snow Queen. I've certainly found it a fascinating journey to take part in. I will say that I've not at all attempted to be exhaustive here, and you may well have noticed aspects of the story that I've just glossed over. So you may have your own insights or indeed questions regarding the spiritual understanding of different parts of the story, and I'd be glad to have a chat about those in the comments. As always, keep it friendly, and I look forward to talking to you next time.